Hi, Matt McAleer, Director of Equity Strategies at Cumberland Advisors. Just after the close here in the trading room, equity trading room in Sarasota, Florida, we are going to cover equity markets, fixed income markets, just briefly because there's not a lot to report on this week. Equity-wise, been trading on both sides of 2,800 S&P. If we look back, we probably are up a point and a half on the week. Not 1.5%, 1 point. So it was a fairly quiet week. Still a strong bid underneath small caps, mid caps. Software, very strong. Our medical devices continue to be strong. Starting to feel like that trade may be getting a little bit crowded, so we do have to keep an eye on that. Over on the international side, we did have a little change of pace this week. As you know, we've been talking about the last 3 months to strengthen emerging markets. That's where all demand's been. And if we could get a bid in developed, it could really foretell a strong international equity year. Well, that bid has developed, and this week, developed markets, primarily Europe and Japan, actually outperformed emerging markets. So if that bid can continue, it'll be nice to see. In the past 18 months, we've seen this before where developed markets have a solid week versus emerging and then disappear. Like to see both areas continue with the bid. Over in fixed income, a little bit of pressure on rates this week to the upside. 10-year closed at 275, 276. Again, I think we went out at 263, 264 last week, so not a great deal of movement. But we had been stalled in that mid-260 area for a month or so. Be interesting next week to see if those rates continue. We've talked about in the past, tough to think our rates are going to get too far ahead of themselves until the rest of the world does. We talked about Germany being at 10 basis points on the 10-year last month. Well, they did finish this week off at 18 basis points. That may seem like a thimbleful of yield, but in terms of percentage, that's a big jump. If Europe and Japan starts to see upward pressure on their rates, we may see some higher rates here. Remains to be seen. So everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Registration is now open for April 11th. A full, action-packed, substantive day of discussion on economic, financial, market affairs and events. There will be a lunch served, refreshments, meet the speakers. We expect a full house. There's an agenda on the Financial Literacy Day for those who wish to come. It's open to the public. The price is cheap, $50 to contribute to help the university provide the lunch. Cumberland Advisors has sponsored the entire day. You are welcome to come. Learn, participate, ask questions, take away information that may be helpful to you. We'll see you on April 11th at the University Auditorium, USF, Sarasota Manatee campus. Thank you.